Take a purpose-built sled, add several scoops of 1,000-pound weights, hook up to a turbocharged tractor, and watch the smoke billow and the turf fly. This is the simple recipe for the sport of pulling, and the pulse-pounding action today features diesel super stock and pro stock tractors. It's time to get down to the dirt.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
The Anavar Festival and the Outlaws Pulling Series attracts all sorts of fans to Ravenna, Nebraska. Hello, everyone. I'm Claude Wood, and along with Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, we will be bringing you all of today's action.
Well, we are going to have diesel super stock, the heavyweights, and the big pro stock. We're going to blow smoke all the way through this show. 4 turbos, single turbos. It is pulling time.
And one of the most crucial pieces of equipment we'll see today is the sled. Dave, tell us about that.
Well, it'll weigh around 43,000 pounds, and it's got the big boys with the big toys here today. The weight on the rear tires, as the tires turn, it pulls up the chains, goes up to the very top, and as you go down the track, just that weight on that skid pan finally just gets so restrictive you can't go no more.
Diesel super stocks, and our first puller will be Tyler Ulmer, who is having a good year this season.
Oh, yes, he is. Father and son team. Dad's been driving the lightweight weapon, been letting son have the lost in the heavyweight diesel. Multiple turbos. Oh, look at the ground speed. Straight down the track. He's got some ground speed. Oh, we're going to see a fantastic pull here today. I can already tell. 3:13 and 67.
As we go to the replay, you can see he has spotted the sled right in the center of the track.
With these big boys, until you find out what this track is going to do, you better set it in the center of the track. A fantastic run. You can't discredit it at all. He's going to be a good one to talk to. Rick Carlson finds out what he thinks about it.
Tyler, started it off. Is it what you wanted?
Yeah, it felt pretty good in the seat and carried the front end like I wanted to, and can't complain. We had a little water injection issue, so I don't know what's going on there, but my dad seemed happy. It drove off the track, so that's all I want out of it.
Our next competitor is Matt Goodwin. Whoa, what's going on there, Dave?
Clutches didn't release. He didn't have his foot on the clutch until the clutch released. He grounded till it fit. All right, the Intimidator. Bouncy, bouncy. You don't want that. You don't want that. It better settle down pretty quick. Oh, he got high. He's going to be fussy with himself when he gets to the pit area. For a fact, he's not going to like it. And he goes 3:11.24. He's out of the lead by 2.43. And Claude, he lost it every bit by those bounces right there.
He did, and he just about went out of bounds on the left side.
Yeah, plumb over to the left. He's just trying to steer. He's just hanging on for dear life part of the way through here, trying to steer it with the brakes and just get the most out of it you can.
Matt, it looked good at the start, and you get toward the finish line, it started hopping a lot.
Yeah, and I moved a weight back. I moved 2, actually. I probably should have stayed with 1. Got a little light on the front, and I could feel it slow down every time I was front and come down and hit the ground. So lost some distance there.
Our next competitor, Dennis Sykes, and his tractor has an unusual name.
The name of the tractor, Naughty Intentions. Dennis Sykes, you don't seem like a bad boy. Where'd the name come from?
The name came, we had 2 tractors in the beginning. And one, my brother's was naughty by choice, and I was naughty by nature. We sold both of those tractors because Dale's back was bad. I finished out his season. We sold those. We bought this one in 2012. And one of the local pullers, my son was at a function down in his town, and he said, "Dad, I got a name for your tractor." He said, "Naughty Intentions." I said, "That's what it is." So now it's how it came to be, Naughty Intentions.
And Dennis's brother Dale is still very much involved with that tractor.
Yeah, he does. He does the wrenching. The back don't let him drive anymore. That's all right. Denny likes to tear it up, and Dale will fix it. I don't know how they get along, but they do a great job with it because this tractor is a runner. Case International. Still seeing a little bit of that bounce. I don't know how that's going to work with these guys all day long. It's going to come up and bite them. 298.06 is his distance.
That teamwork was good enough to get them runner-up in 2014 points. But today is a different day.
Yeah, and here again, You notice that the front end bouncing, and it is taking them over to the left. Somebody's going to have to figure this track out pretty quick.
Let's see what Dennis has to say.
Dennis, 298, not quite what you wanted, but it's a little warm today.
Yeah, it is a little warm. We got, I'm having a little trouble with the tractor today. I can't start it on my own. We have to jump start the tractor in order to get the engine running. We had to sit on the line a little bit. I dropped a gear just to save the motor. We'll check it out, but at least we made our run today. So, yeah, it's not what I wanted, but it's good enough for today.
Hot stuff. This tractor has been totally rebuilt, Dave, over the winter months.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work put into this. He ain't even had time to get it painted yet. He's hoping it all comes to him. When you rebuild one, there's a lot of stuff that you got to get figured out. First of all, he's going to have to figure out his weight distribution. He didn't go to left. He had that part figured out, but the weight distribution nailed him a little bit. Too much bounce. He goes 273 and 18.
And that'll put a rep on the diesel super stocks. And going to the final results, it's all red tractors with Tyler Olber, your winner. Now we go from 4 turbos to 1 turbo, but with just as much horsepower. Five tons of action coming at you when we come back.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Bauer Built. Our strength is in our people and the customers we serve. Willcross Seed. Good product, good prices, good service. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Ravenna, Nebraska, and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. A great crowd on hand, and as we promised, pro stock action with 1 turbo. Dave's got the details.
In the world of pro stock tractor pulling with the Outlaws, you can have to run the same size turbo. This one right here. Everybody runs the same turbo. It is limited to 4.8 inches on the intake wheel on the inside. They're regulated, they're checked quite often. There's only one place to buy this turbo, and everybody has to buy it. It comes from Hypermax. Jerry Legod, who used to work for International, designed this turbo, has his own company now of Hypermax, and even if you run a John Deere, in the Outlaws Pro Stock Tractors, you are going to run a Hypermax 4.8 turbo.
And our first puller in pro stock tractors will be Bo Ellenstein. He calls his tractor old school, and Dave, this guy is known as the class clown.
You never know what you're going to get out of Bo, but he is a hard charger. You seen that right hand on that throttle go far forward. Smoke went away on him a little bit right there. The black smoke went away. Look at that on the replay. He gets a distance of 293 and 16, not what I was looking for.
And as we go to the replay, you should know this tractor very well since you drove it last year.
I have sat on the big smoke. I have felt this power. And I know he's got a small problem right there. I don't know what it is, but when that smoke went away, that hurt him.
Down to Rick Carlson.
Bo, that was not exactly what you wanted. Not bad, but not what you wanted.
No, we heard a piston last night. We were just glad to get down the track and drive off. We got to go home and take a motor apart this week.
And you already just spent the time putting a new turbo and everything back on it.
Yeah, we've had a little difficulty this spring, but that's part of tractor pulling.
Jeff Parker is our next puller. He's a farmer and works in the trucking industry by trade. His tractor is Road Gear Plus.
Long ways away from home, Martinsville, Ohio, but he enjoys pulling with the Outlaws. Taking the big rig down the line. Motor's working for him. Front end kind of settled down. He burns it in. He didn't run out of power. And he is going to take the lead, 295.02, straight and true.
And Jeff is doing a little double duty today. He will be pulling again later in the program. And as you can see on the replay, straight and true, right down the center of the track. That was picture perfect. And that will bring up the Wampus Cat, driven by Rick Barron.
You talk about a guy that's got his hands full. This is his hometown pull. He is kind of he's not really the chairman, but he is the leader of this pull. He wants to make sure that this show comes off without a glitch, so he has been super busy. Don't look like he's been too busy to get that tractor up in running shape. Jiminy Christmas, way out the end. Hometown boy doing good, 3:23.06.
And a little bit of a bullseye on his back. He is our defending points champion.
You betcha. His whole family is pullers, from his brother right on through his nephews. And this man knows pulling from one end to the other, and that's a great pull. He is going to be a happy, happy camper.
Rick, you're here at home. You have been working hard to get the pulling course together, and now you've got the lead by a bunch.
Yeah, I've been watching it all night, and I was talking with my nephews, and we moved a whole bunch of weight to the front end. And I went high. It was either going for all or nothing.
And it was all.
It was all. Yes, it was. I'm a happy man right now.
Well, this old tractor's done you pretty well.
Yes, we won the points race last year. We had 7 wins through the whole year. And if this holds up tonight, we'll have 3 wins for this year already.
Our next puller is Lee Jensen. He's new to the Outlaw Pulling Series, but making a strong stand. And last night, Dave, he really made a strong stand.
Yes, he did. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Here's last night's pull. It was in the dark. The moisture had come up, and he showed the power that he had. Went off to the right a little bit, but still, that motor wasn't hurting. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does today.
In daytime, with the track conditions different, high compression, we shall see.
Blair, Nebraska. He charged it on the line pretty hard. Got a little anxious on the line. Motor having to work just a little bit. You hear that motor lose a few RPMs, but he's still right there. He's close to him, 3:12.94. Hey, that'll put him into second place.
As we go to the replay, you said the motor had to work. What would be the reason for that?
Well, he charged it pretty hard on the line. You've seen it bounce and jiggle a little bit. He lost traction. Well, the tires caught up with him. They caught traction, and that's when he started loading the motor just a tick, but he still pulls it right on through the end.
Lee, a good pull, not enough for first, but that's still got to be satisfying.
It is. As long as we're in the top half, we're happy. You know, we took a first last night, and pretty tough to do that again, so we're happy.
As we go to the leaderboard, Rick Barrett, our hometown boy, holding off all contenders. He's in first place by about 11 feet, but there are a lot of heavy hitters coming up. And this is one of them, Doug Sabatka, when we come back. Welcome back to the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. When the drivers aren't driving, they're usually watching. They especially enjoy the diesel classes, which have some specific rules.
In the world of outlaw truck and tractor pulling, diesel truck and tractor pulling, everybody's got to burn the same diesel, a special regulated diesel, a diesel that can be tested and tracked to be sure that everybody's burning the same. Even the water that you inject in with the diesel is tightly regulated. Something just as simple as windshield washer antifreeze can give you 10 horsepower, but it will get you kicked out of the Outlaws.
So that will bring up Doug Sabatka. No name on his tractor, Dave, but this thing can really run.
He ain't really worried about naming it because it's a 40-20 John Deere. That's what it was when it was born, but he ain't too much worried about the show. He's all in the go, and when you want to talk about go, this guy can go. In fact, he's going right out the end. Look at this. Way on down there, the John Deere people are happy. He goes 3:43 and 88. He takes the lead.
Everything worked perfectly in this pull, and it begins with the weights evenly distributed right on the front.
Great weight distribution for a fact. When the smoke went black, he caught traction. He'll like it. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and see what he had to say.
Doug, that run, I think you gave it everything the track could hold.
Well, I was trying to. Ricky was in the lead there, and I was trying to catch him, and I didn't think I would. I thought we were going to stop there pretty quick, and then we just kept going another 10 feet there at the end, and that made me pretty happy.
Our next puller is David Yarick, driving Dirt Slinging Deer, and this is a brand new tractor.
Brand new for 2015. Now, the name's not new. Dirt Slinging Deer's been around a long time. He sold the original a couple of years back. This tractor's been 4 years in the making. And this tractor, he's already been out 3 or 4 times. He's had some serious trouble with it. And I'd say he's fixed the problem. Might have been a little heavy on the nose, but who's going to gripe when you move into second place at 3:32.88?
Well, we mentioned weights a minute ago. Look at how he has his arranged. You can't get another ounce on the front.
Now, you can tell when you see that many weights hanging all over the place, you know the traction is in the track. Ravenna boy's done a great job, and so did Mr. Yori.
David, Dirt Slinging Deer, 332 feet. Today, it's just not enough.
Oh, well, I'm tickled with the run, though. We've been at a brand new tractor this year, and we're taking little steps with every hook, and so we're improving, and that's what we want to do. But 332 is a good mark no matter where.
The history of the Yorick family going back generations. We saw Dad David pull. This is the son, Cody.
His granddad pulled at Louisville many years ago, done really good. Now his dad sits in second place, and he's going to try to gun him down. Cody is very, very good at hammering down on the track. The big tractor's going to get close. That's going to be really good. He goes into third. Father sets number 2. Son's now going to be number 3 at 3:13.21.
And don't you know that Dad David gave Cody a lot of information about this track and the pull?
Well, since they both pulled back-to-back, I'm sure that Cody watched his dad go down the track, made his decisions on how his dad's tractor reacted. Moved right in there. Good-looking tractor, keeping some of the old style to it.
Jeff Parker making his second appearance, driving Out for Justice.
Second tractor out of Ohio. His son, Justin, normally drives this tractor, but not here today. Got the old style Wheatland fenders on there. He's been watching all the other boys go. Doing a little side dancing right there. Cost him a little bit. Yep, he's going to go into number 4 at 3:21.54.
On the launch, he slid the clutch pretty good there, but then what happened, Dave?
Well, when he finally got off the clutch, everything's fine, but you see it wanting to do a little side dance right there. It went to the left, it went to the right, then it just goes to hopping all over. And that, I don't care what class you're in, that's going to cost you some footage.
As we go to the leaderboard, the John Deeres, driven by Doug Sabatka and David Yorick, have driven the hometown boy driving an international into third place. But a lot more to come, including Steve Calger. Stay with us.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting. Be Supreme. Buy Extreme. Agency 212. Marketing, Communications, Public Relations. VP Racing. World leader in race fuel technology. And by Steel Rubber. Quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Welcome back to Ravenna, Nebraska, and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. We are continuing with Pro Stock Tractors. This is Steve Calger. By day, he raises soybeans.
Now, quite a large farmer in Missouri. You never know what you're going to get when Southern Belle comes to line. This is one of the tractors that goes to the lead, or never know. Calger fighting the steering wheel pretty hard right there. That smoke not as black as I like to see. It tells me he did not have the traction. And for a fact at 284.27. Let's get on board.
Right hand working that throttle, but he's moving the steering wheel a whole lot. You see a little bit of white smoke start to come out. That's normal. The black smoke, you want to see a lot of that because that means there's a lot of horsepower. Up next will be Steve Bailey out of Odessa, Missouri. He is making a serious run for the championship.
He has for a fact. He has served Ricky Barrett. Noticed that he has come to play ball. This John Deere has been on a tear as of late. When you see the ground speed like that, you hear that motor singing, and when the camera has to turn around and take him plumb to the end of the gate, second place, he misses first by 3.43.
Dave, as I watch this run, you be a little more critical than me, but I can't find anything wrong with it, really.
Now, you got that ground speed. You got a little high in two places, which unloaded the drawbar just a little bit. And I'm going to say that probably cost him that 2-foot run.
Cole Burns coming up next, getting ready to pull. His family is a 6-time points champion. Rick caught up with Cole earlier today.
The Hillbilly Express Pro Stock tractor, normally driven by Jim Brackett, this weekend Cole Burns is driving. Cole, how'd you get roped into driving?
Well, I happen to be the son-in-law. Been around about 5 years now, and I showed up one day and said, get in the seat and try it out. Here I am.
Have you grown up around the sport, or are you kind of a newbie?
No, I was totally green when I came around, and I've learned a lot the last 5 years, but still pretty green. Still learning.
Now, do you learn each time you get in the tractor, and what do you learn?
I'd say so. Every situation, every track's a little different. The way you drive it out of the hole, which is very important, the hole shot. But we've always got a plan from the get-go where we're moving the weight, the gear selection, where we're going on the track. But that's pretty much what we're focused on every hook.
Well, Dave, that's a lot of reputation to try to live up to.
And even though the reputation of Jimmy Brackett and Hillbilly Express, Cole Burns has been a great student of his father-in-law. Great job on the clutch, taking it down the track, carrying the front end, but things went wrong. That was no fault of the driver. He has to settle for 2:88.04.
And Cole Burns' pull will only get him in 10th place. Local hero Rick Barrett, he is in 4th. John Deere's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Congrats to Doug Sabatka.
Doug, 343 held up. Not a bad afternoon's work.
Yeah, it was a pretty good afternoon. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm really glad that we're here, and I'd like to thank Ricky Barrett for promoting this poll and everyone else here at Ravenna. And it's a really nice place, and I'll see you next year.
And that'll put a wrap on today's action from Ravenna, Nebraska, our last show from here. Next week, be sure to join us from Rock Valley, Iowa. Now, for Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Claude Wood saying so long until next time.